actually do a free 5-day challenge called Take Back Your Power Challenge. And we focus on, addressing fear. Because fear has such a grip in our lives, and it stops us, it blocks us, it impedes our progress, it paralyzes, it's everything, right?
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
And it shows up in so many different ways. Yeah, so I'm excited to do some work with you guys around that, okay? Is that all right?
That's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is how it's going to go down. So I have a worksheet that I'm going to drop in the chat, and you can and I'll also email it to you, Kaylee, so you can email it to everyone in case you're not able to access it. I'll put it on the screen too. But I'm very hands-on and results oriented because I have spent a lot of time in church, and I get very excited and inspired and motivated, and run around the church, jump over the pews, speak in tongues for hours, and then go home and cry and be the same way that I left.
Mama.
Wow.
Okay, so we have we can get inspired and be very sincere about wanting to change, but then we don't have the tools, right? We don't know exactly how to change. And I've spent a lot of time in prayer and fasting and all of that stuff, trying to get past some blocks in my life. And it wasn't for lack of effort. It was because I didn't have the right tools. Okay. So I want to give you some tools, but I want to say this too. The tools don't work unless you use them. Okay, so that's another thing that we do. We like to gather information. We like to gather a lot of knowledge and be able to talk. We could talk. We can, especially, everyone here is a minister. We can talk. We're good at talking, right? We can talk and present and exegete and harmonize and all those other big words and stuff and look really good. But are we really, really for real free inside? What's it look like? So I want to give you some tools. These work. I use them with the women that I work with in the Personal Power Academy. They work, but they only work if you use them. So the first thing I'm going to ask is that you make a commitment to use them, okay? To use them, and we'll do some stuff together, but then you have to continue to use and practice, so it gets to a place where you it's a part of you. Okay? So let me ask you a question. How does fear show up for you in your ministry? What hinders you the most?
I can't even think. What hinders me the most? Looking at the people's faces.
Looking at people's faces. Okay.
Yes. When I first started doing recitations as a teenager, my mother said to me, when you stand up there, don't look into their faces, because they'll take your mind off of what you're trying to concentrate on. So pick a spot in the back, on the wall in the back, and that's what you focus on.
Right. Good. Let's see. Someone says in the chat, failure, perfectionism. Yeah, that's a good one.
I think fear of also, so fear of failure, but also fear of, almost like fear of succeeding, like, then what? Like, fear of not being as prepared as you thought you were. So maybe that's fear of failure too. I don't know. But kind of like,
Yeah. Yeah,
Fear
that's
of
a
not
good
being
one.
ready or prepared enough, or
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, just that anxiety around that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Someone else said, B. Michelle says, thinking I don't know enough, not smart enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, we don't feel like we're enough. So we know, First Timothy, right? God, the Spirit of God that gives us doesn't make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. Power, love, and self-discipline. So let me tell you something about fear. It's part of being human. God encouraged us in scriptures, right? To fear not. Like it's 365 times in the Bible. You have one, a fear not for every day of the year. Fear is a real thing, and it can get in the way of you doing what you are called to do. Or even if you're pushing through that barrier of fear, you're not enjoying it while you're doing it. You know, you may push through it, but you're in your head and you're not fully present. So it impacts how you show up in your ministry. How do you show up in your ministry? You want to show up in power, you want to show up in love, and you want to show up with self-discipline, right? So I think that it's really important to recognize that it's something that is a part of the human experience, but you've already been given the power to navigate it, okay? You already have been given that. So I want you to be open to some of the things I'm giving you tonight. That when I use this with the women, they've been able to use them to get real results, like enjoying, like really truly enjoying their family, having the courage to negotiate, you know, and ask for what they want with different clients. I had someone last night, we meet on Thursday nights, who just negotiated a huge deal with a client. She's a consultant, and she was able. She said, "I was able to do this because I practiced the skills. I was able to work through the skills. You know, people are sleeping at night now. They're able to, you know, accomplish some of those things. Weight loss, because fear, emotional eating. You know, quietness, stillness, being able to focus on one thing at a time." Here's another question I'm going to ask you. What would your ministry be like if you were not hindered by fear? What would that look like for you?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Limitless.
Limitless. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Far reaching.
Far reaching. Good. Yeah. I want you to hear what you're saying, because you already have the power right now to have those results. First thing I want you to know is you have power, right? You are a powerful being. You know why? Because you came from power. You came from a source of power. God is the source of the whole universe, and He created you with the intention of you being that vessel, that conduit, that channel for His unlimited power, His love, His passion, His freedom, His joy to flow through. Because everything that He does, right, He does it through people, for His people. So each one of you have already been given that power in order to make impact in the world within your sphere of influence. Okay, so you have that. You have that. It's unique, it's distinctive, it's individual to you. It's yours, and it's with you all of the time because he deposited that in you. So you can't get more power by looking outside of you. It's already there. Your most powerful attribute is authenticity. And we are very good, especially as ministers, we're good at presenting. We're excellent performers. And if you want to go to the next level of your ministry, it's important to look deeper in yourself, right? I'm sure there's some really phenomenal ministers in this group, and your presentation is stellar. I mean, you've got these gifts that God has given you, and he's going to use you because he wants to meet the needs of his people, right? So he's going to use those gifts for you to operate through. But what happens when you step away from the pulpit? What happens when you stop counseling? What happens when you're not engaging with your members and the people that you serve? What's it like for you when you are home alone? What's happening in your head? What types of conversations do you have with yourself? What are you telling yourself? What do you believe? Because next level is about being in true alignment with yourself, about who you are. So I want everyone, first of all, to understand that you already have that power and that greatness has already been deposited in you. Okay? So that's the first thing. But your greatness starts with being who you were created to be. We have to invest our energy in changing our mind, changing what we think, changing how we think, changing how we respond. It starts in your mind. So your ability, write this down, your ability to release yourself from fear is going to result from a commitment to practicing new patterns of thinking. Your transformation comes by what? Renewing the mind. Everything begins in the mind. So there has to be a commitment to practicing new patterns of thinking. Okay? So here's an exercise that I do that helps with that. And I'm going to drop it in the chat. You can, if you can click on it and pull it up, but I'll also share my screen just in case you're not able to pull it up. And I'll email it to Kaylee so that she can email it to everyone and you also could have that, okay? So can I, okay, good, you disabled me. So let me, oh no, you disabled. Can you let me share my screen, Kaylee?
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay, baby girl. Okay, screen share.
I love that picture of you.
Thank you. I actually pulled one of this is top secret information, don't tell. Sorry.
Okay.
This is from the workbook in the Personal Power Academy. So I just pulled one of the sheets out. But one of the things that we do is called the DNR system, displace and in place, displace and replace. So this is really a simple process. I love this because it gives quick wins, right? So like I said, everything begins in the mind, right? So many of the thoughts that you have that are fearful and crippling and paralyzing you're either, I bet, I would guess, I don't even have to guess, I'm pretty sure it's either about something that happened in the past or it's a fear about something in the future, right? That's in your head, that stays in your head. It impacts how you operate. And here's the thing. It's not even so much all the things that you're conscious of. We operate from our subconscious, right? So it's even that layer that's deeper than what you are even aware of. The thoughts that have been planted in you, the things, experience that you've had, they take root and it feeds information to you and you operate in a certain way based upon that fear. So this is a way that you can displace the paralyzing thoughts, right? There's two kinds of thoughts. I say that you have stay put thoughts. Those are thoughts that hold you back, right? That keep you staying put, right? And then you have move forward thoughts. Those are the ones that move you forward, okay? So this system helps to acknowledge, because oftentimes we keep things secret, even though it's not really a secret, but we like deceive ourselves and we keep it secret to ourselves and we don't acknowledge what's happening. So this helps you, first of all, to acknowledge, because you can't deal with it if you don't acknowledge it. So to acknowledge the thoughts and then displace the ones that hold you back, right? And then replace them with something else. So this is what I want you to do. If you have a sheet of paper, you can put two columns, right? Displace on one column, replace on the other column, right? So it looks like this. So I have displace in one column, replace on the other column. And let's just do this together. We could just workshop it and do it together. I'll set my timer. So what you want to do is, first of all, think about something right now that you're afraid of, something you have a fear around, something that holds you back, okay? And what you want to do is just dump everything out. One of my clients said, you should call this a dump and replace, because you just dump everything out on the one side, right? Just displace it. I can show you as an example here of how I did it. This is for real. This is something that I had a while ago, but this is really from one of my journals, a page in my life. My son is getting ready to go. We're taking him to college on Monday. Actually, taking him to college, and he was diagnosed with autism when he was 3. And so his life is just a miracle. We're so thankful. But I had some fears around that, right? So, and it was really impeding my progress. So I did this. So I just wrote down, first of all things I was afraid of. You know, people won't accept him when he goes to college. He'll get taken advantage of. Oh, this is another thing I was thinking of. This is, as you can see, when COVID first started, all the colleges were shutting down. You know, I might lose my job as a result of COVID, and then the tuition remission that I get will impact him going to college. And he talks loud. And so you can see, I wrote down my fears, right? So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to write down everything you're afraid of, okay? And then after you do that, the next thing you want to do is you want to stop and look at the list and recognize how many of these things are really true. Because sometimes we have fears that are just, you know, not really, they're really not true, right? And they just hold us down. So you want to look at the list and analyze and say, okay, what is really true about this? So you go through and look at it, what's true, what's really like just crazy, and you can just cross off the things that are just crazy, that don't make any sense. Just cross that off, okay? And then you look at what you have left. What's left, if it's true, you want to ask yourself, well, you want to ask yourself this question: is this true? Is this something? If it's true, yes, it's true. Then you want to ask yourself, is it something that I want to hold on to? Okay, do I really want to hold on to this? And then you want to then, if you say no, anything you take away, you have to put back, right? People that try to stop smoking, they have to replace it with something, right? Anything that we take away, we have to replace it with something. I say I want to be a vegetarian, I'm going to start looking for how to make some bacon, vegetarian bacon or something. You know, we have a need to replace it. So you're going to replace that with something that's true and something that is powerful, something that helps you to move forward towards what it is that you want. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So, want to try it? Uh-huh. Okay, let's do it. Let's try it. All right. So, the first thing I want you to do is just write down, I'm going to set my timer just for like a minute. A minute could be a long time. Just don't even think about it. Just dump. Just write out everything that you're afraid of. Okay? Ready, set, go.
We're just doing the left column, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're already ahead of the game, you can. But just to the left. Okay. All right. So that's the left. 1 minute up. All right. So now look at the left column and just start to eliminate anything that's just crazy, outlandish. You can look at it and be like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make sense. Just cross it off. Anything that's like, maybe there might be something to this. You want to ask yourself, do I really, really believe this? And if you don't, cross that off. And then what you have left, you're going to replace it. Okay? So with, just like I had with my son, people won't accept him when he goes to college. I said, you know what? He's always been his own person. He's comfortable in his skin. And that's what attracts people. And he'll attract the people that care. When I said he'd get taken advantage of, guess what? He may, but he'll learn, he'll grow, he'll figure it out, he'll find his people, and he won't be alone. See? I might lose my job. We won't have the money. Guess what? Been there, done that. 2008 recession. Oh boy, we got hit real hard. But we ain't crumble. We learned. We always had what we needed. God provided, So we actually grew the most when we had the least. See? So take some time and begin to replace, really look at these things and replace them with what's true. Okay, replace it with what's true. And I'll set another timer. I'll give you 3 minutes this time. Okay.